A lot of guys don't even realize the sheer amount of girls that they're missing out on. Chances are they're far more attractive than they realize, and females are trying to tell them how they feel. They're trying to communicate their attraction, and it just goes right under the guy's radar, because guys are logical in communication, whereas girls are a lot more emotional in communication, which means that they're a lot more subtle. Now, once you know how to read these particular cues, they're going to no longer feel subtle to you. In fact, they're going to feel very, very loud. But the problem is no one ever tells us what these indicators are. And in fact, the seduction community used to call these indicators of interest. So I'm going to keep using that term just for this video, because I think it's very important to understand what these indicators of interest are. But before I get into that, I need you to realize body language accounts for 55% of communication. That's way more than words. That's way more than just what we use with the tone of our voice. People are instinctively reading your movements, your posture, and your energy, often without even realizing it. So it's important to understand your body language, but it's even more important to understand her body language so that you can behave correctly to how she is feeling based on what she's physically displaying to you. And it's going to feel like you're reading her mind, because this communication is completely silent, but it also speaks volumes. Now, once I missed out on a connection with a girl because I focused so much on what she was saying instead of looking back at what she was doing. The way she was behaving did not communicate the words she was saying. Sometimes girls are saying stuff that logically sounds like they're not interested in you, but their physical behavior demonstrates something completely different. And when you start to shut out the voice that she might be displaying to you and focus more on what she's physically doing, you're going to be able to communicate with her like an absolute master of seduction. Now, what kind of indicators of interest are you looking out for? Well, the first obvious one that's a non-verbal one is the eye contact. If she's giving you eye contact that feels longer than usual, she's glancing at you repeatedly, that's the biggest cue, because girls are looking at what they're interested in. And if you do the triangle gaze, then you're going to subtly communicate to her that you're thinking of kissing her without saying the words. That is incredibly powerful. And if you catch her doing the triangle gaze, then you know that she's also thinking about kissing you. You don't need to hesitate if you see her doing this. You need to go in for the kill, and it's going to be so powerful for you. Another indicator is she smiling a lot? Now, I know that sounds like an obvious one, but if she's playfully smiling, and more than anything, is she laughing with you? Because when she's laughing with you, it's a deep-rooted thing that girls like to enjoy your presence when they're laughing. Have you ever noticed that there are girls that are laughing at jokes that aren't even funny? Maybe a guy has said something and you're like, that's not even funny. But she's still laughing at the jokes because she finds him a potential mate. She finds him attractive. And that rewires your brain into enjoying their presence more. And a lot of girls use this as a flirtation tactic as well. They're going to pretend to find you more funny, more engaging if they're interested in you, which is quite a powerful thing that girls do when they're flirting. Another thing is that they will be playing with their hair. If they're playing with their hair, if they're moving it around, they're trying to make themselves look more attractive for you. They might be tossing their hair back so that it's out of their face, so that they are looking as presentable as possible for you. if they're playing with their hair, it's also a little indicator of being flirty or shy. It's that submissive energy that they are giving to you. If they're twirling their hair, brushing it behind their ear, they know that these are the kind of images that you subconsciously think is a sign of attraction. Now we're going to go on to the most obvious one, which is touching and proximity, and I'm going to tackle these together. If you find a girl that has touched you for what feels like no reason, and you think, oh, she was just being polite, like she just touched my arm gently, or touched my shoulder, or brushed against my back, and it seemed like it was accidental, these are consistently deliberate. She's trying to physically engage with you. She's trying to close the proximity. She's trying to get closer to you. And you need to use that as a big green light to be able to touch her back. And that can be, playing with her hands, brushing up against her arm, making sure that you're proving to her that you are just as physically comfortable as she wants to be. Because that's why she's breaking these barriers, is she's trying to feel physically comfortable with you, and she wants you to feel her energy physically with her. And this is going to be in the form of playful teasing. A lot of the times when they go back to laughing at your jokes, they might give you like a little nudge or a push. And one I found was very subtle. And this depends on the environment that you're in. If you're sitting next to someone, and you have the option to sit further away from someone, but she chooses to sit right next to you. She's brushing her legs up against yours. She's leaning against you. She's maybe using your shoulder as a pillow. These are clear indicators that she wants to feel comfortable with you. She's trying to show you that she wants to be in your presence. And this is one of the biggest behaviors that you can see from a girl that's trying to flirt with you. And if you just take this as her being friendly and you don't choose to escalate it, then you're going to miss out on massive potential. Now, the biggest thing that you need to look out for with all of these indicators, okay, we touched on playful teasing, we touched at laughing on your jokes, we touched on proximity and playing with the hair and smiling and eye contact and the triangle gaze. That's a lot to take in. But one is only a small amount. You need to be looking at clusters of these. Now, the seduction community used to say that if you found 3 indicators of interest, then you're good to go. Now, she might repeat one of the indicators. She might laugh quite a lot. She might push you a little bit more than usual. She's trying to tease with you. And you need to just feel the energy. You need to stop doubting yourself and just go for it because she wants to. Now, again, you need to override your logical brain because she is going to think that she can't say outright what she wants, but she's going to behave outright what she wants. And you need to match her energy, in which I highly suggest you do not talk about seductive or sexual things. If your aim is to take this girl back to your place, the best option is to not talk about what you want to do back at your place. Okay? Just talk about mundane things. Talk about what she's interested in. Talk about each other. Talk about each other in a very regular, normal way. But your physicality is going in for the seduction side. You're touching her. You're making her feel comfortable. You're breaking that barrier. And if you're able to do that, you're creating a frame that says, I'm comfortable with you in a sexual way, but I don't need to get overexcited because I'm in full control. That is going to be an incredible frame to hold. Now, I hope you got some value out of this. These are some very powerful tidbits of information. A lot of it I would like to go into further detail at some point because there was a lot to cover there. But essentially, just learn more about body language, understand her indicators of interest, and don't be so shy to not go for it because women might give you the opportunity, but they're not going to escalate fully for you. At the end of the day, we're the ones that have to make the approach, and we have to be the hard closers. And that might be a tough job, but it's one of the things that shows that the masculine energy is the brave energy that can take control of the situation. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that are making the decision, and she's coming along for the journey. So guys, if you need anyone to listen to this, if you've got a friend that is struggling with these indicators of interest, if they think, oh no, she's not really into me, and you're seeing from the outside, dude, she's so into you, send this his way, because we need everyone to understand the female psychology, because we just deserve to live the best versions of ourselves that we can. If you found any value, like the video, maybe subscribe for more. And until the next time, guys, keep seducing.